Good morning and welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas. It's Wednesday already. This week is going by too fast. But at least I have made 2 different kinds of cookies in 2 days. So I'm now sort of where I want to be when it comes to the baking. I don't make any other stuff for Christmas anymore than I'm just baking. I used to make all sorts of stuff for Christmas before, but I stopped doing that because you can buy it all ready-made, and I want to mostly do the things I enjoy running up to Christmas, like crafting, decorating and baking, because I enjoy baking even though it's kind of a chore when it's running up to Christmas, because I have to make certain kinds of cookies that sort of we need to have for Christmas, or it's not a proper Christmas. I'm going to open my advents first because my son has a day off and there's no telling when he gets up. So I'm going to open the advents while I have the house to myself. So this is the advent from Sue, day 13. And it's beautiful blue. Not sure what the camera is doing. There you go. So that's going into my blanket today. I'm doing that as soon as I finished recording, I think. The crochet. It's sort of a nice start to my day. And the stitch marker looks like this. It's a tea bag. So that's going in my box of stitch markers. I'm sorry about the crinkling of the paper, by the way. For some reason this microphone gets really cranky when it comes to crinkling, so it's really loud sounding. Not sure why, but I'm really sorry for those of you who don't like crinkling. Let's see, day 13 in my tea advent from Bird and Blend. This sounds extremely nice. Lemon and ginger. Sounds like a nice tea if you have sort of a sore throat. And who doesn't this time of year? And then we only need to look at the one from Ulveig. It's more fiber. And I really needed one of those. So that's extremely useful. So I'm going to start using that for measuring my wraps per inch. Amazing. I think I'm actually going to put that, I have to put that somewhere safe so I don't lose it. Maybe I should just attach it to my wheel somehow. But that's the one from Ulveig. And now I can just have, I had breakfast and I can't have one of the Esteros cookies. We had one each yesterday. But that recipe only makes 24 cookies. 24 big cookies. And the rest is for Christmas. But you always have to do a quality control when you bake for Christmas. So those are off limits until Christmas. My youngest son is going to have one when he gets here on the 21st though, because he really loves them. And he asked me, are you doing the Esteros cookies for Christmas this year as well? And when I said yes, he was really, really happy because he loved those. And as I said, the plans for today is just doing some chores. I have some laundry to do, and I need to clean up the kitchen. I'm probably going to have to do that one more time before Christmas, but I'm thinking to clear in the cupboards and go through the fridge, because there's always something mysterious at the back of the fridge. I bet we all have stuff at the back of the fridge that we're not quite, when did I buy this, what is this? Because come Christmas we're going to have lots of stuff to put in the fridge. So that's why I always do the fridge clear out twice a year. Once before the summer holidays and once before Christmas. Because I know I need the extra room in the fridge for Christmas because of all the stuff. I make my own egg salad. I do, because I have a recipe that I got from our next door neighbor that passed away, and it's really nice. It's really simple, but it's really, really good. I always make that for Christmas. And then we buy the smoked salmon, we buy the pickled herring, we buy the gravlaks. All this stuff has to go somewhere. My homemade mustard dressing that I make to have on the gravlaks, it has to go somewhere. It has to go in the fridge. So I need to clean out the fridge. And then I just talked a lot about the fridge. And I'm an expert in talking a lot about stuff that may be only interesting to me. But that's what you get when someone that never uses show notes, almost never uses show notes, and think out loud. This is what you get. But you will probably have noticed that I edit these rather a lot, because I realized that, why did I talk about that? That isn't necessary. I have to cut that out. So I have taught myself to take breaks in between, so there's easier to find places where I can cut. Things you learn when you're doing Vlogmas and have a tendency to blab on about stuff. I'm going to finish now, and depending on how interesting it gets today, I'll record some more. This might get to be a short one because we're going to quiz night and I want to get this uploaded before we leave. So I have a cat that wants his breakfast, so I'll see you later. Came on here to talk a little bit about spinning for those who are interested. This is the bobbin with days 1 to 12 from my advent. Really pleased with the results. And I started a new bobbin today with day 13. And now I'm spinning some merino because I started a project in October that I've been working on. I bought from Ulvei two different purple, two different colorways, but they're both sort of purple and pink and a bit of green, and I'm going to ply them afterwards. I won't get a lot of yardage because both I only have 100 grams of each, so I'm not sure how much yardage I'm going to get, but hopefully I get enough to make a little scarf or a little shawlette or something. And I also had something I wanted to talk to you about, because while I was sitting there spinning, I got a great idea for a year-long make-along for 2024. I don't have a year-long make-along at the moment. I'm going to co-host a year-long make-along with my Yarny Corner and Distant Stitches next year, Shop the Stash. But this is an idea for a make-along just for me, and I hope you also think it's a good idea, because I haven't locked in on a name yet, but it's going to be a spin to knit make along. And I'm going to run it all year, because if there's people out there that really want to try spinning but haven't tried it before, you have a year. And I'm calling it, I might call it spin to craft or something, because you don't have to knit with the finished yarn. You can crochet, you can weave, you can do whatever you want with it. So maybe I should call it spin to craft. I haven't locked in on the name yet. Maybe I'm going to do it like you enter your bobbin, and then you edit that entry when you have made something with the yarn, and then you make a new entry for a different handspan, and then edit that for a picture of the project you've made with the yarn. I don't care if it's just a swatch, a pot holder, anything, as long as you've made something with your handspan. This is because I really love spinning, and I see the danger of just spinning and spinning and spinning and hoarding all the handspun and not using it. So that's why I'm going to do this year-long make-along. So I can encourage you to spin more or try spinning, and also encourage you to do something with the handspun afterwards. I might, depending on how many, to make sure there people enter the make-along, I might just say that it's enough that you spin and you can enter your spinning. You don't have to spin the yarn next year. If you have handspun lying around, you can make something with handspun yarn you've spun this year, yarn you spun last year, as long as you've spun it yourself. And that's the main thing, because I know you can buy handspun. I don't want you to enter with yarn you haven't spun yourself. I don't care if a friend of yours has spun the yarn. You have to spin the yarn, and you have to make something with it. But because I don't have a lot of subscribers, I might, just to make sure as many people as possible enter the make-along, I might allow you to just post your spinning. And if you spin early in the year and then you make something with it later in the year, so you don't have to look for your original post, I might just say, okay, so you can just enter the finished project later on. I'm going to drop prices quarterly, and all the prices are going to be fiber. And that means that the fiber Ulveig donated is not going to be used as prices for the Grinch Mal. I'm going to use it for prices for the spin to knit make along. And I'm going to dye up fiber for it myself as well, for prices. And tell me in the comments below if you think this is a good idea. As I said, you have an entire year, so if you want to try spinning, it's not that expensive to start spinning, because you don't need a wheel. You can try spindle spinning. I can't spin on a spindle because of my osteoarthritis in my shoulders. That's a difficult word to say, osteoarthritis in my shoulders. I can't use a spindle, so I had to get a wheel to be able to spin. But if you are like me, maybe you already have a wheel. It's just standing there as a decoration, giving you bad conscience because you're not using it. I have a knitter's loom I haven't used in a couple of years. That was sort of a stupid purchase. But if you have a wheel and I encourage you to spin. The make-along is to encourage people to try spinning, spin more, and make something from the handspun. And now instead of repeating myself a fifth time, I'm going to stop now and do something useful. And let me know below if you think this sounds like a good idea, so I know that there's a point in me starting this. See you later.